So after covering some really disturbing details in video games over the past couple of weeks, in today's video we're going to be looking at 10 more. And in my opinion, these details are the most disturbing yet. As always, if you think I've missed a disturbing hidden detail, then let me know in the comments, and let's do a quick subscriber count update. We are currently sitting at 936,000 subscribers, meaning we are 64,000 subscribers away from hitting 1 million. So if you haven't already, please consider hitting subscribe. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Fallout 76. Now, there are a lot of disturbing things to find in Fallout 76. I mean, the game is set in a nuclear wasteland, so that's to be expected. Well, one of the most disturbing things that I've seen when playing Fallout 76 is a humble bug. And it's not the kind of bug that you usually find in a Bethesda game. This is a tick, and as you can see, the radiation in the Fallout universe has seen them increase in size. Because these ticks look roided to the gills, they aren't afraid of attacking pretty much anything that crosses their path. And that includes you. The thing that I find very disturbing is what happens after one of these super ticks takes a bite of flesh. So, as you can see, the body of the tick will slowly but surely be filled with blood. That's your blood if you need reminding. I don't know why, but seeing this giant bug almost bursting because it's so full of your blood is really disturbing. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd love to play a game that lets me experience a zombie outbreak as it happens. I know that The Last of Us Part 1 shows this briefly during the game's intro, but I want to witness normal people being affected by the outbreak. Don't ask me why, I just think it would be cool. A game that does show zombies in the early stages of turning is Dying Light. The virals are people like you and me, who have only recently succumbed to the infection. Because of this, they are strong and agile, unlike the other Dying Light zombies which, well, let's just say they're not strong or agile. Well, it turns out that it's not just their human-like speed and strength that these virals have going for them. If you fight back, there's a chance that this will happen.
No! Please! No! No! Stay away! Stay away! No! Please! No!
So, despite desperately wanting to eat you alive, there is still a part of a viral that remains human, as you can hear them begging for help. Imagine being human enough to know that you don't want to hurt people and to beg for help, but not being able to stop yourself bashing people's heads in. Speaking of zombies that retain their humanity, up next is the Eggcellent Dead Island 2. Now, unlike the virals from Dying Light, the suiciders in Dead Island 2 are slow and very weak. These ugly looking zombies look like they want to give you the world's biggest hug. That is, until they get close and then they explode. Think of them as Dead Island 2's take on the boomers from the Left 4 Dead games. Well, much like the virals, it seems that the human part of the suiciders is still very much intact. So you can hear the suicider saying "help me" as it slowly walks towards you, which is disturbing. Again, being human enough to know that you are now a zombie must be awful. Now, when it comes to disturbing games, I'm guessing that the Goat Simulator series isn't the first series that comes to mind. I mean, even the zombie-themed Goat.exe expansion is a light-hearted take on the whole zombie outbreak thing, which makes this particular detail even more disturbing. At first glance, this pink house is locked up pretty tight, with no way inside. However, if you make your way around back, you can smash a window and climb on in. At first, things seem pretty normal. That is, until you find this room. So this empty room has several messages written on the walls, including the always ominous "you can't hide" to the even worse "you can try to shut it out, but it will always find you." The main message of this room is "you can't run, you can't hide, it is already inside. It's no use, it's too late, be prepared to face your fate." And that's it. There's nothing else to see in this house. Maybe this is left over from a cut piece of Goat.exe content, or perhaps the person in this house has faced their fate. Either way, it's very disturbing. Now, so far, The Last of Us Part 2 has appeared in both of the previous disturbing details videos, which should tell you a lot about that game, and if it didn't, it's appearing in this one too. Clickers are perhaps the most iconic enemies in the Last of Us series. Their inability to see, combined with the always haunting clicking sound, make them a formidable foe. Though, given that they are blind, there is a way to trick a clicker into doing your dirty work. If you grab an enemy and then attract the attention of a clicker, this will happen. So you can feed enemies to clickers. You know what they say, if life gives you lemons, feed them to the blind fungus-infected creature. Or something like that. Now, despite being a family-friendly video game character, and now a bona fide movie star, there is a dedicated community built around Sonic being replaced with a malicious entity that looks like Sonic, but is a whole lot more evil. A game that is based off this very premise is Sonic.exe, which is full of the usual jump scares that these games usually provide. The thing is, the scariest part of this game, well in my opinion at least, can only be seen when playing in windowed mode, which if you ask me, makes any game 10 times scarier because why would anyone play in windowed mode? Anyway, when you first load up Sonic.exe, the title of the window is called Sonic the Hedgehog Editable ROM, which is normal enough. However, the more you progress in game, things start to get very weird. So after several messages warning you that something is coming, the game will tell you that it's watching you before typing your name. Now it's worth mentioning that you don't enter your name at any point when playing Sonic.exe, so the game scrapes your PC for the information just to scare you. It's disturbing, but also very clever. Now, Ready or Not is on the whole a grounded military shooter. There's none of the tacky skins and fantasy guns seen in the likes of Call of Duty. You are a serious guy doing a serious job. With that in mind, you'd think that ghosts were off the table, but that's not entirely true. On the hotel map, if you stand next to this statue, you can hear this. So after a while, the statue will whisper "hey," which is pretty scary. Now, when I first heard this "hey," I immediately thought of the spooky lobby door from Phasmophobia, where a ghost says the same thing. I don't know about you, but those "heys" both sound the same. But like I said, I don't think ghosts are in Ready or Not. I mean, I'm not saying that the two are linked, but it's certainly suspicious. Now, with the massive amount of creepy characters found in Dead by Daylight, it should be no surprise that at least one of them is hiding a disturbing detail. Sadako was added to Dead by Daylight in 2022, and is part of a Ring-themed expansion that released at the same time. Now, I've said before that I find small girls really creepy, especially ones with long hair, and it's probably because of the Ring that I feel this way. Well, Sadako's appearance in Dead by Daylight does little to ease my fears. At the game's main menu, if you select Sadako as your killer of choice, she will wait patiently whilst you run off and make a cup of tea, but don't leave her too long. So leaving Sadako for too long will cause her to jump scare whoever was unlucky enough to be left in the room while she went to make a brew. This is one of those details that I'd love to have been there for when someone saw it happen for the first time. Right, the final game for today's video is the excellent Project Zomboid. Now, despite loving Project Zomboid, I'm really bad at it. It turns out that actually surviving a zombie apocalypse with realistic restrictions and rules is quite hard. Well, before all of that can even happen, you will find yourself at the main menu where you can see a couple lovingly embracing. The thing is, everything is not as it seems. So, after a flash of lightning illuminates the room, we can see that the man is actually feeding on the woman. This is one of my favourite details in all of video games, purely because of how an apparently nice moment is actually really disturbing. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. I don't really ask for likes during videos, and I honestly think that people just forget. Or at least I hope they forget. YouTube seems to think that you'll like the video on screen now, so perhaps give that a watch. And if you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.